Welcome to the CMO Spotlight, and I'm here today with J.R. Ross, who's the Vice President of Marketing for PosiGen.
You have to be an insatiable learner. Like, you have to want to be a marketer. So I think being a learner is number one. Second is you got to go to wherever the customer is and to wherever your employees are and learn directly from them. Yeah, I mean, I think you have to be an active listener, and you have to learn, what you're hearing in the room and think about what the people who are saying things in the room or pitching or selling in the room, what is their motivation and and how are they responding to it? And when you do that, it makes it a lot easier to market and have a conversation with them. Being an active listener and being a good observer that allows you to use your personality and your charisma to the best of its impact. I think you have to have a healthy sort of personal board of directors, like mentors, learn from elders, I think is really important too. And a lot of that feeds sort of creativity. And you have to identify those people throughout your career and check in with them or read about them or take the opportunity to meet them. I have no shame in reaching out to people and asking if I can just talk with them for a few minutes about something. On the technical side, we had a great conversation yesterday about generative AI and what would we use Midjourney for, what would we use ChatGPT for. And the women who work on my brand team talked about, I think we can use this for creative inspiration, right? And so we don't know how we'll use it for the business, or we're not going to talk about how we'll use it in certain parts of the business yet, but we can use those images, we can use the prompts in writing to give us some sort of creative inspiration or to think about things, maybe challenge the team, differently. I think you have to start with empathy. And so you have to have empathy for your coworkers and you have to have empathy for your customers. And if you understand, listening, having empathy for them, that allows you to lead with more authenticity. And I think that's how I'm learning to relate, to younger generations when I'm hiring folks who are Gen Z, especially, is telling them exactly who you are, what motivates you, what you're comfortable with, what you're not comfortable with. And that kind of authenticity helps the team figure out how to work together. And then I would say when you go in to meet with others, always have a strong point of view. Having a strong point of view means you're making a case for something, you're taking a stake in the decision making. Even if you're wrong, you can find ways to work the number, you can find ways to have solutions. But if you have a strong point of view, then you've probably done your work and you believe in what you're offering. Two successes, and both were in our water category. It was the launch of the bubbly sparkling water brand and the launch of Life Water as well. And so when I was as chief of staff, I got to sit in our stage gate and innovation process and help lead those meetings. And so I really understood the value of consumer insights that built both of those brands long before they were launched. Having a commercial plan, knowing who our partners were all amazing, and to see success at over $100 million sold in the first 10 months was really an amazing process to be a part of. And I was only one of many people who worked on it. I never worked on Maker's Mark, but I was a Maker's Mark ambassador for a number of years, and I got to go to the distillery and get my own personal bottle and that sort of thing. And I don't even know that that's my favorite whiskey, but I talked about that for years. Always fascinated by Ken Samuels, their founder, and their approach to loyalty through their programs. I thought was really powerful. As in being older now, I look to a 13-year-old to give me a lot of guidance and advice about brands that he's passionate about. And he talks a lot about Pit Viper and Liquid Death. He talks about those brands because they never waver in their steadfast commitment to cultural engagement. And they're accessible, and he finds them entertaining, and they're just relevant day to day and week to week. During COVID in the summer of 2020, I was reading about my favorite guitarist, Jerry Garcia, and his quote was, "The situation is the boss." It removes a lot of responsibility or accountability that you think when you go into a certain situation, you may not have a problem, you may not be aware of what's going on. The situation is the boss, yet you have an opportunity to improve it or have impact with it or to fix it.